It's open. Ruth,
Hey.
God, you're here.
I'm here.
Can I get you something to drink?
No,
I have
fine.
Sodas, water, tea, coffee, tequila. I've been drinking a little bit lately. I'm sorry.
Emily, I'm fine.
Thank you for coming on no notice.
It's just the nature of my pathology, apparently. Let's start with you.
Well, I think I might jump off a building tomorrow. I know we've talked about it a lot, and maybe your ideas aren't really working. When they drop off food at my house, I have them do it just so I have to open the door a crack because I don't want to have to see outside. It just seems so unfair. It's not getting better, and I'm afraid every second of every day about the things that I feel like I can't control. There's a guy who lives across the street. He's not gonna hurt me, but I made it about me because it's always gotta be about me. I don't want to be in my house anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. I am missing out on my life. And it's not fair. It's not fair. And you're not helping. And it's selfish of me to say it out loud. It's really because I know it's not your fault. It's me, and I'm fucked up. Look at me. I should be ashamed of myself, and instead I'm just sitting here talking to you. I've just been stuck for a really, really long time, and I you keep coming, and I'm not getting any better, and I don't know what else to do.
Stop. I have had patients cry, lose their temper, hit me. But I have never seen anyone as damaged as you. I can't help you. And now I've lost my only opportunity to say goodbye to my mother before she died. Because
Ruth, I'll see you next Wednesday, right?
House call 1F, take 1.
What do you want it at?
Give it to me at 50% and aim it through the window.
One of the most common mistakes that I see indie filmmakers make is paying way too much attention to their camera settings, lighting, and other technical things like that. Now, don't get me wrong, all of that is important, absolutely, but in this video, I want to talk about one of the things that can completely ruin a film, even if you're shooting on the nicest camera in the world. And to do it, we're going to go behind the scenes of the film that you just watched. Imagine that you have a character going through a difficult life situation. They have family who are critically ill or just passed. They got fired from their job and haven't left the house. They've been struggling with their mental health and so on. What do you imagine this person's house looks like? A mess with clothes thrown everywhere and the house trashed? Or everything cleaned up and looking spick and span? A lot of filmmakers, when they're making their first films, get so focused on all the technical things that they overlook the importance of set design and wardrobe in their films. Filmmaking is about storytelling, and storytelling doesn't have anything to do with cameras. It has everything to do with the characters, their emotions, and the worlds that they live in. Cameras, lenses, lights, and microphones are only tools that you use to tell those stories. So watch this section of the film again where Emily's house feels a lot more put together and clean.
You know, we've been meeting a lot recently, and I've just seen the steady decline, and I don't want to see her like that. If I go, I'll wait till she goes. It's all I can do for me, you know, for myself. And it just seems so unfair that I'm trying to talk to you, and
Stop.
When you watch these two variations side by side, notice how the original version just comes to life compared to the second version. Not that the second doesn't look professional at all, they both use the same exact light setup with the same performances, camera settings, and everything else. It's not as if one version is objectively correct or is visibly more cinematic than the other. But the original version tells a story in the frame outside of anything that was ever written in the script. And that story just isn't being told in the second version. The way the vast majority of filmmakers approach a scene is to consider what's specifically written in the script, and that's what they make sure makes it into the scene. They'll see a clock is specified in the script, so they make sure a clock is in the scene, and beyond that, they'll just let the talent wear whatever they decided to put on that morning, and they'll leave the location however it looked when they showed up. But if you want to tell stories like they do in Hollywood, you need to really dive into what's not on the page, maybe even more so than what's written directly in the script. And that's what I really want to drive home for you in this video, to really take seriously what's happening in your story that doesn't appear on the page of the screenplay, but should absolutely appear on screen. Consider what your characters are feeling and how you want your audience to respond emotionally to the scene, and then build your set design and wardrobe decisions around that. Don't have a character who makes their therapist come to them instead of going to an office like normal, wearing street clothes. They should be wearing pajamas that look like they haven't changed in 3 days. Don't just set a clock on the end table, throw trash and clothes everywhere so their house looks like it's actually being lived in by somebody going through a mental health crisis. Forget your camera settings and tell a story. For another example, take a look at these two versions of Ruth. In one, she's dressed in all black, which visibly darkens the image and makes it feel more closed off and less inviting. And in the other, she's wearing a bright green top with her arms exposed. Notice how it completely brightens up the whole image and makes the scene feel more airy and welcoming despite the condescending look on Ruth's face. Both of these wardrobe choices are well motivated by the story and give her the professional look of a therapist. Again, these are the types of things that most filmmakers don't consider when making their films, but it's an integral part of producing a film with the emotional resonance of a Hollywood film. To take it a step farther, consider how when the house is clean and well kept like you see behind me, there's less for the characters to play off of in the scene. For example, in the messier version of the film, Trick, the actress playing Ruth, sits down and folds one of the shirts laying around in the scene. It's a great character moment that Trick came up with while on set, while we were setting up, and it really helped develop the judgmental side of Ruth that just isn't empathizing with Emily's situation. But in the cleaner version, where we've only included the elements that directly appeared in the shooting script, there's nothing for Trick to play off of in the scene, and you lose that character moment. And to that point, most of Emily's dialogue during the therapy session was actually improvised by Erika. We had some lines written in the script, which we did shoot, but Chris, our director, had her do 2 takes of improv rambling just to give us a little extra flexibility for the edit. And she did such an incredible job that we ended up just cutting the original lines to use her improv in the final film. But a ton of this improv was motivated by the set design around her.
You know, when they drop off food at my house, I have them do it just so I have to open the door a crack, because I don't want to have to see outside.
Without the production design setting the tone around the talent, Erika wouldn't have had nearly as much to vibe off of for the scene. She's awesome, and I'm sure she still would have absolutely done great, but creating unity between the production design and performance, both by Erika and Trick respectively, helps the whole project go to the next level. When we were developing the film, along with this behind-the-scenes feature for it, one of the things we considered was playing around with differences in performance. Of course, there's not just one correct way for talent to perform a scene either.
My thinking, like as an actor, I'm thinking of like the Uta Hagen approach. Like we can say, good morning, how are you today, in like 17 different ways based on like what it is that we're actually doing. The emotional impact that you're going to have on a scene is going to change, whether you are making a cup of tea or you're like angrily folding laundry, or like in the cleaner version, like I could see like Emily trying to offer her a drink and Ruth is just very politely, no thank you, it's fine, I'm fine, let's just get to work. And then in the other version, everything is chaos and it's noisy and there's a cacophony of just ick all over the place. And Ruth is like rejecting a beverage because, oh my God, how can you even drink or eat anything in this place? Like, let me help you clean up, right? Like, so it's distracted and it changes. It would change the performance. It would change like the point of it.
But for this film, we went ahead and opted to focus on the impact of set design and wardrobe specifically, and the impact that it has on the emotional response of the audience. But that's only one element of taking the story off paper and putting it on screen. The way your talent performs the actions and dialogue on the page can be done in so many different ways as well, and it's your responsibility as the director to bring cohesion to the film in order to tell a unified story. Unified in all elements, between wardrobe and set design to performances to the camera angles and movement that you use and more. In our program, the 30-Day Filmmaking Kickstart, we actually break down these elements into the 5 core elements that they pay attention to in Hollywood that gives them the professional cinematic look and feel to their films. And spoiler alert, set design is one of them and performances are another. We actually pulled those 5 things out of the program and put them into a dedicated video that breaks down each of the 5 elements and demonstrates how you can achieve professional level quality in each area, even if you don't have any money, equipment, or contacts to your name. And in that video, we also break down the 5 critical mistakes that up-and-coming filmmakers tend to make that keep their films looking amateur, even if they're shooting on some of the nicest equipment in the industry. I literally made all 5 of these mistakes on an ongoing basis for years before I figured out what they were or how to fix them. So I guarantee you that if you've been making films for less than 5 years, you're absolutely making at least one of these critical mistakes. Just click on the first link in the description to watch my full video breakdown of the 5 critical mistakes that keeps films looking amateur and the 5 core elements that you can use to give your films a cinematic edge.